President Trump recently signed 2 executive orders that will ban WeChat and TikTok in the United States after 45 days if they are not sold to an outside company. Many Asian Americans support the idea and believe that mobile applications like these are tools used by the Chinese Communist Party to monitor and brainwash its users. They also suggest banning more Chinese-run applications. On August 6, President Trump signed 2 separate executive orders that addressed the Chinese social media app WeChat and the video-sharing mobile app TikTok. The executive orders stipulate that both applications will be banned in the U.S. 45 days after signing these orders. Any person or entity in the United States will be banned from making any transactions with WeChat's parent company, Tencent Holdings Limited, and TikTok's parent company, ByteDance Limited. This means that WeChat and TikTok will be banned in the U.S. if they are not sold to companies outside of China that do not serve the CCP and can protect users' privacy. The executive order indicated that WeChat and TikTok capture and collect vast swaths of information from its users, all while monitoring them. They further censor content that the CCP deems politically sensitive and assist with the CCP's propaganda by spreading disinformation. This news was immediately discussed among Asian Americans. Many of them expressed to NTD reporters that they support the strong measures implemented by the U.S. and even with the banning of WeChat and TikTok. They believe that these applications are not only messaging applications, but also function as spyware. Through these applications, the CCP engages in information theft and censors freedom of speech in overseas free societies. Many users' accounts have been blocked for speaking out the truth and exercising their freedom of speech.
It is extremely unsafe because WeChat has been collecting personal information overseas for a very long time. WeChat is a platform that the CCP uses to mildly brainwash by transferring ideology. A large amount of censored, filtered, and brainwashing articles have had a tremendous impact on Chinese people overseas.
In order to protect the security of all aspects, including the economy, defense, and national security, the U.S. government must cut off the CCP's control and brainwashing of overseas Chinese communities through tools like WeChat.
Many netizens applauded the U.S. government's decision. One said, it would have been perfect if they had changed 45 days to 48 hours. Another mocked WeChat, saying, it's been censoring and blocking everywhere. Now finally the app has been blocked. Another suggested, it should be more thorough and ban all Chinese apps.
In the past few decades, the CCP has been keeping foreign internet companies, like Facebook, etc., out of the country. If the principle of absolute reciprocity and mutual benefit is to be adopted in trade between the two countries, all CCP's technology companies, including WeChat, TikTok, and other popular applications, should all be banned.
On August 7th, the spokesperson of the Chinese Foreign Ministry said during the press conference that China firmly opposes the U.S. suppression of Chinese companies. Some media outlets then followed suit by claiming that it is going to be quite inconvenient for Asian Americans in the U.S. to communicate with their relatives in China without WeChat. Some Asians living in the U.S. were incited to ask the U.S. government not to ban WeChat.
I understand the appeal of these Asian Americans, but there is one point. You can't adapt to the U.S. free society, which protects individual privacy. Then you better go back to your home country.
Mr. Yu indicated that these Asian Americans can definitely use other means such as video chat or international calls to communicate with their relatives living in China. Or maybe it is best we all work together to fight for the people in China to be able to use Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, and other softwares. Since the beginning of the year, the CCP's cover-up of the epidemic caused a global pandemic. The recent imposition of the national security law in Hong Kong has infuriated the international community even more. The United States and other countries around the world have been putting out sanctions and countermeasures against the Chinese Communist Party. In regard to social media, as early as June 29th, India banned a total of 59 Chinese applications, including TikTok and WeChat, due to national security concerns. On August 5th, a day before President Trump signed the executive orders regarding WeChat and TikTok, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo talked about a few things regarding Communist China. In the press conference, he announced the expansion of the Clean Network with the launch of 5 new lines of efforts. The 5 new lines of efforts are Clean Carrier, Clean Store, Clean Apps, Clean Cloud, and Clean Cable. He emphasized that untrusted Chinese telecom companies will not provide services between the U.S. and foreign destinations, that untrusted Chinese apps will be removed from U.S. app stores, that Huawei and other untrusted vendors will be prevented from pre-installing or making available for download the most popular U.S. apps, that Americans' personal information and businesses' valuable intellectual property will be protected from being accessed by Chinese companies, and that the CCP will not obtain information carried by undersea cables. Currently, Microsoft is discussing with ByteDance ways to acquire TikTok. The negotiation deadline is September 15th.